We're going to go ahead now and create a surface in a conceptual mass that we can then apply to the parking garage facade. So I'm going to go to New in the Families, English Imperial, scroll all the way down until we can find the conceptual mass and open that file up. And this is where we're going to construct our facade surface, our curvilinear surface. And so we need to make some parameters so that we have some guides here. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab this reference plane and set the width of our facade. I'm going to do that just by copying these reference planes over. So I'm going to grab this one and I'm going to move it 40 feet with the idea of giving us a total width of 80 feet. And I have this set on multiple so I can just slide over to the other side. And now I have between those two planes an 80-foot wide facade. And we'll jump to the south elevation now and we'll put some levels in. I'll try to jump to the south elevation. And I'll zoom in over here. So we have level 1, and I'm going to just select it and use the copy tool to ratchet up our different levels. Our first level we'll make is kind of a podium at 16 feet, and then we'll just go up 10 feet increments, and we'll go up to 7. Okay, so now we have our levels set. And we'll go back to our 3D view. And we want one more plane we want to put in. This is the reference plane of the face of the building. And we'd like that surface to sit out proud or in front of that surface. So we're going to take this one and we're going to duplicate it out. And in this case, I'm just suggesting about 12 feet. And now we're all ready. It took us a long time, I know, to build all of our reference planes, but now we're ready to build our surface in this volume that we've created for ourselves. So the first thing I'm going to do is set the reference plane that we want to put our spline on. This is called a spline through points, and I'll just define it with a few points. And we could just jump to the east elevation and kind of see what we've constructed here. And then bring these into some kind of a rational relationship with our levels and everything. And you'll notice it looks a little bit on the exaggerated side, so I'm going to just pull this in. So there's our first curve to generate a surface from. And let's go to the south elevation now and just copy that surface over. So I'm going to grab the copy tool and take the, actually select the surface here. Excuse me. Select the surface, grab the copy tool. Oh, there we go. And I'm going to copy this over 80 feet. And then we'll go back to this elevation, and it's still highlighted. So what we'll do is we'll make some modifications to the shape, just so we get some playfulness with the form. Maybe we'll bring this one down a little bit. I'll go back to the 3D view, and we'll go ahead now and select both of these lines by holding down the Control key and do Create Form. And we have a form between those two. Now, I'll go ahead and take the next step to this. We still have another form to create. That's the back plane. But I'm going to grab this form and I'm going to divide that surface because this is how we're going to apply our panels to it. And we're going to keep it relatively lightweight. I mean, a simple number of panels so we don't have to worry about redraw time. So I'm going to change these to an 8x8 grid, not an 8x80. Can't believe I was just doing that. There we go. And now we need this one plane. We need one more plane in the backside. So I'm going to set the face of the building plane. And we're going to just draw a rectangle back there. I'm going to grab the rectangle tool. And I really don't know where I'm drawing this yet until I go to the south elevation. And we're just going to manipulate that so that it fits as we would expect it to be on the face of the building. All right, I'm not sure why we didn't snap to the... Okay, and back to our 3D view. Now we have that plane back there, and we're going to create a form out of this. And there's a problem here that it creates a deep form like that. So one of the ways around that is to tab in here and select each of these two edges. And it could be the top or bottom or left and right, and do create a form. And then it gives you the option for, well, it'll do all kinds of things to create that form, but we want it to be a planar form. And once we've created that, we can probably delete these other model lines. But what I want to do is grab this form shape and then divide that surface and give it the same settings of 8 by 8. Okay, so now we're ready. We've really done most of the construction of our shape form, and we have a way to pull our structures, the structures that we create, back to the building and attach them. So what I want to do now is just save this file. So I'm going to go to File and Save, obviously. And I'll create a new folder. I'm going to call that folder Parking Facade. Oops. And I always manage to type the second one as a capital. And we'll call this family the shape nodes. You can name it anything you want, though, as long as it helps you remember it. And we're going to save that. And now we don't actually have the project that we need to import it into. So I'm going to go to File. I'm not sure if that was showing up on your screen. That might have been showing up on another screen. Once again, I'll just reiterate. I made a new folder, called it Parking Facades, and saved this file as shape nodes, in case that dialog box did not show up. And I'm going to go and open up a new project. And it's showing up on the screen properly. I hope the other one was. And we're going to open up an architectural template. And we'll go ahead and save that one right away also. So I'm going to do a save as, or a save, I guess, for the first time. It'll be all right. We'll put that in the parking facade. And I think I called it parking mockup. Okay, so now we're going to just jump back to, and I'm not sure that dialog box showed up. We're going to go back to our mass shape family, and then we're going to load that into the project. The show mass warning comes up because it'll show up the first time, but sometimes when you reopen the file, the masses are automatically hidden, and it's just kind of a warning on that. And so once that's in, you can click it to place it, and it'll send up this warning box that says it can't compute some things, and that's all right. We know we're working with a mass element, and we can visualize this by going to View and just making a quick 3D view. And we're in the parking mock-up, and you'll notice we have only the 2 levels because it didn't import the other levels. We were just using those for reference. And if I click over to the south elevation, the one adjustment we want to make here is to bring at least this level 1 up to 16, and that'll help to confirm our alignment with things. So there we are, set with that. So the next thing we'll look at is creating the panelized system that will go on our curvilinear shape, and then expand that with this structure, the parametric structure that goes back to attach to the parking garage.